don't you understand? You turn my life.
Welcome.
There they go. Normal Guys Talk Sports.
Another week.
Another one. Stay consistent. Shout out to TD.
Man.
Stay consistent, Matt. Stay
We staying consistent.
Stay consistent. Episode 48 on the path to 100.
I'm like feeling good again because
feeling good again. Why are we feeling good again?
Because
tell me some good
NFL
news.
season. Is
I do feel like a resurged energy.
And
I felt a void these past
I can literally
some months. Like a
go
void
to Twin Peaks on Sundays and sit in that motherfucker all day.
Oh, the best the next 17 weeks.
Yeah.
Rain or shine. We'll be there.
You know what I'm saying?
49er bar, you know what I'm saying? 49er bar. Matt's been in 49er bar once
I've been there. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's a cool little vibe.
We might check out another one, but we got the twin, or no, what you got? Addison Point. Addison Point off a Beltline. You know, hop, skip, and jump from here. So yeah, man. But
I ain't gonna lie. It's about to be this. Considering how everything is going right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have some free time.
No doubt. Check Matt out.
And some availability.
Matt's about to have some availability.
On Sundays.
Check him out.
Nowadays. So it's all good.
In the hood. All right. So it is September 1st, Friday at approximately 10:20 in the evening. Late start. Me and Matt have 9 to 5s in the corporate world nowadays. So coming to you at a late time. It's been the adjustment, but here we are Friday night.
Corporate world is different, bro.
Yeah. Before we were coming to you on Tuesdays and you know, it'd be around lunchtime, and I had the day off, but my days off are different, and Matt's everywhere doing everything. So, but here we are.
Shout out to Nick Ewing in the building.
Oh my God, that is Nick. Nick is my bro.
Nick Ewing in the building. I don't know who Nick is, but what's up, dog?
Nick is my bro. We're not gonna say Nick is my former coworker.
Oh, Nick!
Nick is my former coworker.
Oh, for sure.
He was in the Army. We're not gonna say where, bro. So don't be doing all that. But Nick, he is my bro. Like no doubt, he's in the Army. That's my man. So, shout out to Nick, bro. Shout out to Nick. Live and direct. You on the show, bro. So shout out to Nick, man.
So you got any other tidbits you like to share?
It's Friday night. Here we are. Shout to Tiff. Shout to
Tiffany.
Come on, man. We ain't come on. She's getting some behind the scenes. We're expanding the brand. We're doing a lot out here. Much respect, man. Keep doing your thing. Look, man, none but love, man. Love it. We gonna get together soon, man. He's a Cowboy fan. We come on. We talking about 49ers, Cowboys, all that, bro. Yeah, he's a Cowboy guy. He was in the Army, long time. He was in the real military for sure. So shout out to Tiff. Tiff's doing some behind the scenes stuff. Tiff's been part of the NS family quite some time.
Absolutely.
It's been a little bit since I seen at the studio, and it was her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated and
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
Forever 21. There you go.
Forever 21.
Shout out to Tiffany. She says we need to translate better to the female demographic.
We need to translate.
better to appeal to the female demographic.
I've been thinking about adding a couple segments to the show, though.
We
You
can
know what I'm
add
saying?
segments to this.
You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we could do something for the ladies.
And we're
you know what I'm
taking
saying?
we're taking ideas, we're taking polls. Nothing is off the table as long as everything makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, there we go.
All right. So do we want to start with that?
Yeah, I guess so. The beginning topic is one of my favorite shows on TV and one of my major inspirations as a journalist and all the work he's done over there is Skip Bayless. Love him or hate him, you got to respect his body of work. So he started off with First Take. You know, I first got into knowing who he was about 10, 15, 20 years ago. Used to be a former Dallas beat writer. And then he was on ESPN for many years. And then FS1 offered him a contract. He started Undisputed. He started it with Shannon Sharpe, gave Shannon Sharpe his start. You know, Shannon Sharpe will say he gave him his start in the business and his first opportunity. They had some, a great run, but it kind of ended a little rocky towards the end. And Shannon Sharpe signed to the other side. He's on ESPN now, so he's on First Take, Skip Bayless' first show. And Skip Bayless just started his show back up after a 2-month hiatus, and he has co-host Keyshawn Johnson, Richard
He really got a
Sherman,
rotating
and Mike.
co-hosting.
But yeah,
The
Michael
co-hosts
Irvin
kind of rotate.
on
though.
Friday. Yeah. So Keyshawn Johnson's every day.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin's like on Fridays, like stuff like that. But that is like the main.
But they
three
got-
lineup.
they got-
and had Rachel Nichols on the other night.
Yeah,
the other
Rachel
day.
Nichols is
Rachel
one
Nichols.
rotate, and obviously Lil Wayne is a rotating
and Lil
guest
Wayne,
on the whole on the
which
show.
which
So,
sang the
so Wayne
introduction.
going-
We
Wayne
still got
finna
to
be
get
on there.
Matt to rap an introduction for no. That is one of our side missions here at the studio at Normal Guys.
shout
Talk
out to
Sports.
Nene too.
Shout out to Nene. She was just walking by, but Matt, that's next on the to-do list for sure.
I got the song already though. I just got.
You just
go
gotta
in the booth.
record- you
Yeah,
just
I
gotta in
got
the
to go in the
booth.
booth like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Matt's
So
that's has a lot of man hours in the booth for sure.
so what do you feel about this new cast?
I liked it. I thought Skip took a hit. I thought Skip. I wasn't gonna say Skip was done, but like some was saying it. I was gonna say Skip was done, but I didn't know how he was. Gonna
Is there
recover.
enough room for Skip Bayless on that show though?
Skip's been relevant, got us talking about him, and he's been a household name for the past 30 years. He's one of the best at what he does.
I feel like it has the potential to be a good show, but it's not there yet.
I
Just
mean,
for the
this is week one. This is like when LeBron and them got in Miami,
Right.
and we talk about them first 5 games.
right.
So
Or the first season, really.
the first season. I mean, right? They didn't, but you give it a few months, give it till Christmas, give it a year. We'll see where it's at. But I think you got the names, and like I said, love or hate Skip Bayless. You have Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin was a part of the ESPN fire-ins, right? And ESPN, like I'm kind of like I'm not so I can't. I feel I can't get jiggy with ESPN like I used to, based on their decision making and what they promote and what they do and what they don't do. Personally, as a fan, as a consumer, you know what I'm saying? I've looked to them. I've probably consumed a lot of hours. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but a lot of hours of ESPN over my life, right? First Take, countless football games, basketball games, but how they do their journalists, what makes the brand, what makes the name. It's just like a friend. How you doing, sir? Hey. We're live and direct. Come on. Just say hello. Bless us with your presence. Just say hello. You ain't got to say nothing else. Just say hello. Say hello. I mean, there you go. CEO never satisfied. Made it all happen. Thank you, sir. Bless you, bro. It's always good to see you, bro. How you doing, man? Yeah, we do need some sponsors. You the sponsor. You the sponsor. Other sponsors. Yes, sir. We own it. All right, side mission.
Shout out to Malcolm, my guy Malcolm.
Shout out to Malcolm. Malcolm's in the
My guy, we
coming
go way
Friday
back.
nights.
We go way back. So he
TGIF
says,
Friday nights.
you guys feeling Lil Wayne's Undisputed theme song?
How do you not, bro? How do you not? He made a second one that's like I said. I seen the comments and it's like again. I'm a big YouTube guy, And I feel how you really learn about like the people and what the people want is what's in the comments.
Yeah.
And right,
I feel like it was a decent song though.
And then he'd be like, and then somebody said, "What? How much of a flex that is not to get Wayne to do your intro and to
be on the show
and be on the show." Like,
nah, that's crazy.
So,
But
like
you
I
know,
said,
Skip and him, they're
they
actually
kick it.
friends. Yeah,
They
they're
kick
actually
it.
friends.
They're friends.
So,
Yeah, they're friends. So,
you know, that's only natural.
So,
Shout out
like-
to Malcolm. That's my guy. But yeah, I personally, I feel like it'll be good, but I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, it felt like Michael Irvin's show, the first couple.
and that's okay,
the
bro.
first, I mean, it's okay.
And that's okay because I think it brings a balance. I think Keyshawn Johnson is more of the, because I watched him in the morning when it was first it was Max.
Max Key and
That was my show in the
Homeboy.
morning. That was probably one of my favorite shows. Max, Keyshawn, and J Will. They let go Max and Keyshawn, so no more show. And then and then it was a guy before Max, Ruben. He's like a Middle Eastern dude, respectfully. It was before Max. Then they got Max.
Ruben. Who
Yeah, it was like
Ruben?
it was something like that. But that's how long Keyshawn had a show in the morning. It was even before Max. It was Max. It was Keyshawn, J Will, and another guy. But yeah, shout out to Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson. He was 96 NFL draft, same year as Terrell Owens. Shout out to Keyshawn Johnson. But he's on TV. I think he brings a balance. Like he's more level-headed. And Michael Irvin's old school. You know,
Michael Irvin
come on,
be about to explode.
Michael Irvin, I know too much about Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin.
You
is
go,
well
you
known
ride
in
around
that.
Dallas, you'll catch him out here in these streets.
You will find. You will
catch his ass out here in these streets.
You can find
acting
Michael
just
Irvin.
like he is on TV.
Like right, exactly.
He
Exactly.
catches his ass.
Exactly.
You catch his ass
Respect.
right out
I'm not
here in these
disrespecting
streets.
nobody in Dallas, but
Nah,
yeah,
you catch him out. You catch him.
will
Go
that's
outside, bro.
I used to see when I first
Michael Irvin be outside.
Right, when I first came here, probably I've seen Michael Irvin like a few times, like in the clubs. Dude.
Michael Irvin be outside.
Michael Irvin, he's back on TV.
Yeah, shout out to Michael
Michael
Irvin though. Everything he went through, you know what I'm saying, lately.
False allegations, that's never cool.
Yeah.
That's never cool. So,
So my next question though, with Shannon being on ESPN,
what else was he doing?
outside of your personal feelings, what does this do for them? Does this, you know what I'm saying, does this, kind of fix things?
It's a chess move, man, because what it is ultimately, ESPN is Coca-Cola and FS1 is Pepsi. And if you watch FS1, if they reference ESPN, they'll say the other network. Like Keyshawn said it, he's like the other network. And I was watching Speak for Yourself
Speak for yourself.
with Joy,
Acho. And,
McCoy,
yeah.
right? And who's on the right? Acho but they said the same thing like the other network. So
it's Acho, McCoy, and Joy, and it's a rotating guest usually.
Okay,
or a
gotcha.
rotating host.
So it was a chess move on both sides. As far as Shannon Sharp is concerned, he got let go. He shouldn't be if he felt he was disrespected or if he wasn't happy where he's at or what he was doing, then move around. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, he ends up on the other network. It was maybe some saw it coming, maybe some didn't. But he ends up with Stephen A. 2 days a week. It was a chess move on both of them. And the Stephen A. talks, because you have their shows and you have the Stephen A. podcast and you have the Skip Bayless podcast. You catch any of that?
Man, I just feel like everybody's slowly moving away from TV.
True. I mean, true.
know what I'm saying?
It's not what it was 10, 15,
You
20
see
years ago.
Stephen A. with his own podcast, I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's more, when they're individual podcasts, they more like
they could be
pull
raw.
They speak more freely. They pull underneath the curtain and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like Skip Bayless, like, hey, they both like.
Did you see the video where he clapped back at Paul George for talking shit, bro? I ain't never heard Stephen A. talk like that, bro.
Stephen A. need to act his age, bro. Stephen A. need to act his age. I don't know. Like I think like when he gets this,
But
I'm like the Kwame Brown stuff. Like I'm when it comes to that, I see it more from Kwame Brown's side than I see it from Stephen A.'s side. Stephen A. could be a little bit too corporate and a little too old school for the next generation. He's way
Well, the
by the
Kwame
book.
Brown,
He's way by the book, way corporate, and you talk about you the street, this and that. He had T.O. and Max got him looking crazy on his own show.
the Kwame Brown situation, he was bullying him a little bit.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. To make a name for yourself, you gotta come on.
But the Paul George situation, Stephen A. was kind of in the right. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I'm more so making a point of.
Primary topic: Stephen A. Skip Bayless, undisputed.
But yeah, I think ESPN is on his last leg.
Shout out to the 7 people watching live.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
To the 8 people watching live. Check y'all out. Friday nights, TGIF.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, that's TGIF, bro.
TGIF, we're bringing it back.
You know what I'm saying?
So you don't know, but overall, we like it. Check it out. That's where me and Matt get our inspiration from, our motivation from, and we look to be doing something similar one of these days. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, we already doing something.
We already doing that. We already do. We have our own platform.
Hell
But
yeah.
to expand the platform, grow the platform.
But yeah, so you want to go into some football next? Or
Yes, sir. That's we are moving on.
So this is one of the main topics that they were talking on Undisputed, and I know we spoke about it last week.
Bro.
But how soon will Dak Prescott get replaced by Trey Lance?
Great question. Great question. This season, I don't see it. Michael Irvin there was a major topic on Undisputed. Michael Irvin was team Dak 1,000%. He don't want to hear none of that. And I don't wish no injury or anything, but hey, God forbid he gets injured. Guess what? He might just get that call up. But I still, Cooper Rush won in 4 games. So I feel he went to a situation. He's still QB3. He's not. I don't think he's QB2 yet. You got to earn that. Cooper Rush won in 4 games. I'm not being biased one way or the other.
I mean,
Cooper Rush. He just got there. Exactly. Doesn't know the playbook. Right here. And then Cooper Rush won in 4 games last year. But Cooper Rush, and Dak, same draft class, same age. These guys are 29. Trey Lance is 23. So, but the fact that you dig deeper, this was a Jerry Jones move.
They said Jerry Jones made this move and didn't tell nobody.
Right. No, but they said that as soon as they got on the phone, they wasn't going to hang up. And then, like, the thing is, like, the 49ers were scaling the market, and this is the best that we got. My team that I've been watching since the 80s, a long time. But no, like, we make that decision, you stick with it. You give up 3 first. So you telling me you trade 3 first rounders, right, for this guy, and right, and then 2-3 years later, whatever, you trade him again for a 4th round pick. So that is, good luck to him the rest of the way, whatever. But like, that is one of the biggest like mistakes like a team could make. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could have been deeper, or we could have drafted the better quarterback. And the fact that John Lynch drafted in the next draft Brock Purdy, 262, whatever it is, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, the fact that he picked him and he worked out saved his job. John Lynch should have got fired for the move that he pulled with Trey Lance and ultimately turned away. Like, the fact that Trey Lance didn't work out. But Trey Lance only played 4 games in a uniform. He was injured. So, but injury, you know what I'm saying? The play must go on. Big homie told me, one monkey doesn't spoil the show. There's still a game on tomorrow, next week, whatever. So I'd hate it didn't work out for Trey Lance. He was a future. He looked like he looked like a lot of things in college, but it was a D2, right? I think he went to a D2. And you don't trade into a rival like that, but they did it. Steve Young said never trade anything to Dallas ever. That was Steve Young's response to the trade. But I don't like it. It's heartbreaking. Like, again, even if he was a bust, it didn't work out. You see that through. You gave him so much to get him. And our problem last year was quarterback durability. Durability. We had 4 quarterbacks get hurt, and majority of teams carry 3. We signed a 4th one, and then we had 2 QB3, QB4 going in the NFC Championship. They both got hurt in the game. Durability.
I had my man Josh Johnson.
we might as well have I use him and Kaepernick the same age. They might as well, I get it. But Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson back on the Ravens.
Went out there. Right, exactly. He's been on 10 teams.
My man been on like 15 teams.
10, 15 teams. He's been
My
on.
man is the ultimate backup.
Right. And
Career backup.
It was a time to shine and
He failed miserably.
Exactly, bro. But again, if his overall rating 70,
More like 64.
right? If his overall 70, right? In the 60s,
Shout out to Josh Johnson, though, man.
but that wasn't his.
That wasn't his purpose.
Yeah, exactly. That's not. It was on his purpose was to win you the NFC Championship.
Right. Against the Eagles.
So
At that.
So, and I think trading Trey Lance puts even more pressure on Brock Purdy. Perform just like you did. I think Brock Purdy was similar to Kaepernick before because when Kaepernick got the start, it was midway through the season, no film on him. Same thing with Brock Purdy.
All right.
Starts midway through the season, no film on him.
All
Now
right.
there's film on him.
I was about to. So this brings me to my next question. Now, 49ers, more wins or less wins than last year?
Oh man, we're top 2 team in the NFC.
No,
hands down.
that answer more wins. Or
What we get
less
last year,
wins.
12?
Yes.
I'll say 12. 12 gets it done.
I
12 gets it
think
done. 12.
I think Brock Purdy is going to regress a little bit.
That's fine, but the thing is, the magic of Mike Shanahan. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. A lot of people praise him, like him or not. He is one because he gets a lot. This is why, because he gets a lot out of subpar quarterbacks. He gets you to the big game. He got you to the big game with Jimmy Garoppolo. He got you to one game before the big game with Brock Purdy. So, but again, the 49ers, one of the deepest teams in the NFL, top 2-3 defense, period. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started with everybody on the team. A lot of Pro Bowlers on the team. A lot of top 100 NFL players on the team. If there is a weakness, it would be quarterback. Brock Purdy in fantasy football was 23rd.
Which makes sense.
23rd out of 32. So bottom half of the NFL. But what does make 49ers good? The playmakers such as Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Yards after catch. 49ers one of the best teams in yards after catch. So they're making it happen after the catch. That has nothing to do with the quarterback. That's the stat that even though passing yards goes to the quarterback, but the quarterback, is literally and figuratively out of his hands at that point. Yards after catch.
All right. So
Here we go. 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Trey Lance.
my next question, and this is a hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Teams, and we can do 4 each.
For each.
Teams least expected to win the Super Bowl but could win it this year.
Huh?
Teams who have the least expectation to win the Super Bowl but could win it this year.
That could win it. We need to see I need to see every team before I just all I'll speak on. Okay, teams that could win it that aren't expected to.
Yes.
So that are not contenders. So any given Sunday, not contenders. Who are the contenders to me? Off top, who is the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship? Let's start there. Top 4 teams.
No. Let's
That are contenders, so we're not. So they don't count.
Let's get rid of Kansas City, the Bengals.
all them. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Eagles. Let's not worry about them.
Who could win the Super Bowl that's not expected to win the Super Bowl? Or it's not.
I got a few.
Okay,
that
you
I would
start
already
this.
pick.
This is
I'm going to go Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? Heavily improved. Got a star wide receiver. Got a great running back now. Quarterback has been to a Super Bowl before. Got a few pieces on defense. Could surprise everybody and win that division.
I think it's going to come down to Detroit and Minnesota, but I don't know if I'd all out Detroit. I like Detroit. Don't get me wrong, but they lost their running back, so but he's on New Orleans now. But Detroit is a good team, and they almost did it last year. Make the playoffs. That would have been really cool.
My second team I'm picking,
Who?
Jaguars.
Jaguars. They had him in MVP. Some of them top 3 MVP.
Trevor Lawrence. Did you not see the playoff game, sir?
No, I mean when he that almost game with what did they play, Kansas?
The Chargers.
The Chargers, yes. Dang.
The Chargers?
The Chargers was
So I have a story behind this game.
San Diego LA Chargers.
I have a story behind this game. So when this game was on, I was on a plane going to Miami.
Okay.
And while on the plane, guys, I was sitting next to this guy.
I remember you did tell me this.
And I sit down next to him, and he's like, man, I'm from San Diego, and the playoff game is on right now. So we're on the plane, we're watching this game, and the Chargers are going crazy.
Right, it was up by 3 touchdowns.
It was up by 3 touchdowns. He's ecstatic, everything.
Right.
The sad part is the flight landed before
it ended.
So I never got to see how he reacted to what happened afterwards.
Wow, that's
But I can only
And then you're
imagine.
like, yeah, he won. So he's like, yeah, he won. Thought he won. So he's At some point, he was like, they didn't win.
They
He checked
did
his
not
phone,
win.
saw the TV, and no.
They
Shout to the
freaking
Chargers,
lost.
but they didn't pull it off that time. Dang it.
That's my second team, least likely to win the Super Bowl, but could possibly get there. My third team, the Los Angeles Rams.
Stop that, bro. Stop that, bro. Stop that, bro. Stop that, bro. You stop.
Matt Stafford should be back
So what, bro?
At 100%?
Respectfully. What does that
at
mean?
100%.
Stop that.
Cooper Kupp should be back
Cooper Cup is back, though.
at 100%.
Cooper Cup is back.
Aaron Donald should be back
Is he back?
at 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Rams, bro.
They still got a good team. They still got a good coach.
Still not what they was. Still not what they were.
So when if they surprise your 49ers this year,
you want to bet?
I'm not going to bet on it.
Right. Okay then. Okay.
But
you want
I'm
to bet
saying-
they're gonna be better than the 49ers. Yes, you started losing me right now.
You said what?
Started losing. You got
The topic is teams least expected to win,
least
but
expected
could
to win. They could win. Okay, I'll say the Jets then. That's mine. The Jets or the Dolphins. The Jets or the Dolphins. There you go. Because contenders to me, clarifying because this is in the top. To me, these are contenders to me. The Buffalo, no particular order. Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Big K. Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to Matt. Cincinnati Bengals. Kansas City Chiefs. Dallas Cowboys, put them in there. Philadelphia Eagles. San Francisco 49ers.
I have one more team.
Who?
The next team who isn't a contender that I think could make a run at it.
So those teams to me is contender. Those probably
Those are actual bona fide contenders.
actual bona fide contenders. Everybody,
But I'm
said.
talking about
so they don't
teams-
count. So take
teams
everybody I
that
said
nobody is looking at.
Those are the squad.
but could
Everybody I
win.
said. Okay, who else?
The last team I'm gonna pick
Uh-huh.
is the Denver Broncos.
Bro, like
Sean Payton
these are cute. We need to document.
had a
this.
top 5 defense last year. Cortland Sutton at wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver. Took Ben Powers from Baltimore to get a better offensive line.
Make the Super Bowl. Every team you said, like, I don't know if I could see them winning the division. But you say make the wild card and make the Super Bowl.
Like I said,
Any given Sunday, teams
least likely.
least likely.
Like teams that we're not expecting.
Okay, so that would be so mine would be, with all that being said, we said the teams that don't count. You said some teams that you feel, and I will say, I feel good about the Jets and the Dolphins. I like that. Yeah, so that's mine. Not expect because the Jets are not expected to go to the Super Bowl. It's some that say
I can get with the Jets pick, but I
the
can't
Jets
get
are
with the-
contenders, so that's why I said the Jets. I mean, like
I can't get with the Dolphins because I expect them. They're kind of a contender. They were in the playoffs last year.
I don't think, but they're not contenders. I would not bet money, but at the same time,
They
I'm
are
saying I would not
contenders.
bet money. These two guys are going to Super. You know who I'd bet money on? One of the teams I hate the most, the guy, the number 15 at quarterback. I would bet them to be in the big game before again, right?
He ain't
'Cause
finna
Nick
win it
White-
every year though.
So, with all that being said, let's predict. I don't know if you want to predict every team record per se. I don't know if we got time for all that, but for sure predict divisional winners. That's 8 picks. I feel we can do that.
Division winners.
Division winners next year.
Let's do it.
All right. So, I mean, I guess okay, AFC East, I'll start off. Like I said, until further notice, I think Buffalo Bills, shout out Big K. And a little bit behind them would be the Jets in Miami still, but the Bills is still the best team in the AFC East until further notice. Josh Allen, top 3 quarterback, MVP candidate, and a lot of hopes that he could get it done, before his career's over. Shout out to Josh Allen. He grew up a 49er fan. So, and then, would you agree? The Bills?
I will pick the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Granted, I see, you know what I'm saying, this, and I guess I'm being a conspiracy theorist today. But who's on the cover of Madden?
Mr. Allen.
That's A.
Yeah, okay, right.
Stephon Diggs is acting funny right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That is why I passed on him on my fantasy drafts this year. Last year I had him I was real high on Stephon Diggs, and he came up short a few games. Gabe Davis outperformed him a couple games. And I pay attention to the Bills. Shout out Big K. I pay attention to the Bills. So
Is Von Miller still playing for the Bills?
I remember he got hurt. I don't know if he's on the roster this year. After he won the Super Bowl, then he signed to the Bills, right?
So
Is Von Miller there, right? That's a great question. I have no idea.
no Von Miller.
No Von Miller, great. Great. That's great.
So I mean,
I think the Jets could be good next year.
I'm picking the Dolphins
Okay, you're picking the Dolphins, I'm picking the Bills. To win the division. Okay.
to win that division.
Okay, the AFC North. I'm not gonna go against the grain on this one. I'll agree with you on this one.
You agree with me on that?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Cincinnati guy. I'm not like, I don't know. Like they should have I feel some type of way that they cuz they got beat by the Rams, one of my least favorite teams. So I don't know. I think Joe Burrow, I'm not a hater. I know some people don't like him. I'm not a hater. I just don't see him as like tier A,
I mean,
You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying he can't. I mean, once maybe like 2, 3, 5 years, I don't know if he's like the guy. Like the guy in Kansas is the guy. You know what I mean? Until I think not to get too sidetracked. I think the biggest threats to beat the guy quarterback, for that top guy in the AFC is Burrow and Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Burrow, I think he's younger. I think maturity, maybe he could mature a little better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What I'm saying is I would trust the guy in Baltimore before I trust the guy in Cincinnati. Because the guy in Baltimore won MVP. You know what I'm saying? The guy in Baltimore, and so I would pick him to outperform. Me personally, if I were to pick out the two, I'm not just saying that because you're the homie, you're next door, you're right next here, but I think statistically, my personal opinion, I think Lamar will outperform. And isn't Joe Burrow hurt? Is he hurt? And he's hurt. And he's hurt. So there you go. Is he going to miss game 1? Or he's not 100% at the very least?
I think he might miss game 1.
He might miss game 1. So that's that. So we'll agree. Baltimore is going to win the AFC North. Moving forward, the AFC South. Jacksonville.
I'm gonna pick the Jags on that
Jacksonville. Indianapolis didn't get a.
They're supposed to be training Jonathan Taylor.
They got the Jonathan Taylor stuff. They got a rookie quarterback. They're starting fresh. Houston, rookie quarterback. They're starting fresh. Tennessee, like I said, Tannehill. I think it's his last year. He might just lose his job this season.
DeAndre Hopkins in the building though.
Come on now, but you've said this. Tennessee Titans is where receivers go to. It's a receiver graveyard. That's where Randy Moss. You forgot
That
that
ain't
one.
fair, though.
Randy Moss,
Well,
Julio
no,
Jones.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had some top guys and they lost them, but Hopkins, I don't know. He did show out last year, so I got them. They're not good as Jacksonville because Jacksonville has the best quarterback.
I'm picking Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. There you go. We agree on that. AFC West. Everyone's favorite team should win their division
Easily.
Right. I think Chargers still some years away. You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert, MVP candidate. Let's get that out the way.
Who?
I'm not saying gonna win it.
Cool.
Justin Herbert,
He ain't gonna win. no
MVP.
man.
That's what I'm saying. He's not gonna win it, but he's a candidate.
He might not even be a candidate.
He's a candidate. He's top 10 fantasy quarterback.
He's
Hands
overrated.
down. Overrated.
He's overrated.
That's why they're good. That's why I got them. That's why I talk about the Chargers at all.
He's overrated.
He's good. That's why they're good. They're above 500. They're going to win at least 10 games. I'm not going to say they're going 12 and all that. 12 is 49er status. They're over 500 team. They're over 500 team, hands down. Denver, you made that mistake last year.
What?
You're like, oh yeah, Denver gonna. You said Denver gonna win. You said Denver was gonna be better than the Chargers last year. You said that, and you got Denver being a sleeper team. I don't know about all that. So, and then the Raiders, they got my man's Jimmy G, Devontae Adams, all that. So
Devontae Adams still the real deal, bro.
exactly, and then Jimmy G, he's a winner and he's accurate. Again, he's a game manager, but he's one of the better ones at that. So shout out Jimmy G, shout out the Raiders, shout out Justin Herbert, shout out the Chargers, but shout out Russell Wilson, shout out the Broncos. but Kansas City gonna win that division.
Right.
Kansas City gonna win that division, of course.
Broncos come out of here playing like crazy, man.
I hope it isn't as bad as I hope they improve.
If they fix their offense, it's on.
They're not an over 500 team. I think 500 is like the best. What they
the-
win last year, 3, 4, 5 games. What they do?
The Broncos fix their offense, it's on.
Russell Wilson's not that guy. He's not that guy. He was that guy in Seattle. No shade. He was that guy in Seattle because of the Legion of Boom, because of the defense. I'm gonna give it to. I'll say,
I mean, he still played well after they left, though.
we'll see. Shout out to Russell Wilson. Anything can happen. But Kansas City gonna win that division. See, me and Matt respectfully agree to disagree on that. The AFC West,
NFC East.
the NFC East. Shout out to the Washington team. They might go back to Redskins. You see all that? People want it. People want it.
They
Football
should have
team
never
is hard.
changed it. I'm sorry.
Should never changed it because I think I've seen some Indian groups saying, "Hey, it's cool." Say it's cool.
I didn't
So-
think it was bad.
I think it was bad, right? But it depends on who you ask, right? But so shout out to Washington. You got New York, the Cowboys, Philly. Respectfully, Dallas, Philly, because Vegas has Philly. Vegas has the top team because Vegas has it coming out the NFC in this order. Philly, 49ers, and Dallas. And if I remember right, it was Philly plus 330, 49ers plus 400, and like Cowboys like plus 500, according to Vegas, to get out the NFC. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Eagles because they were there last year. So and to beat the man, you gotta beat. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. So somebody gotta beat the Eagles to be that team. So because they beat the 49ers NFC Championship, they went to the Super Bowl because our
going
quarterbacks got hurt in the game. So
But actually, you know what? The Cowboys could win this division.
they could. Don't get me wrong. They could. They have a chance to do it. Don't get me wrong. I think They both won 12 games, right?
Yeah.
Right, but they had it over them. So yeah, the Cowboys are respectfully, the Cowboys are just as good as the Eagles, but I do give the edge to the Eagles. That's not being a hater, that's not being biased, but they were better than them last year. They beat them last year.
It's going to be a lot more tape on Jalen Hurts out.
Jalen Hurts is out?
No, it's going to be a lot more tape, a lot more film.
Oh, a lot more tape on Jalen Hurts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, but Jalen Hurts, I mean, like, until otherwise, Jalen Hurts is the man. Jalen Hurts is top 5 quarterback. Jalen Hurts is MVP candidate. And the Eagles are projected to go to the Super Bowl, according to Vegas. Top team to go to the Super Bowl. I hate to say it, but it's Vegas. So I'm going to repeat what Vegas said. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to got the Eagles going to the NFC West. East, excuse me. Next division, the NFC North. And I will ride with Matt on this one. We'll go Detroit. Team Detroit. Because you said you got them, sleeper team go to the Super Bowl. Green Bay's rebuilding. A lot of people are not in Jordan Love. They say some anonymous coach, anonymous GM said he does not have it. Detroit, are going to be better than last year. They almost made the playoffs last year. Chicago and my man is Justin Fields. They still rebuilding. Chicago is one of the worst teams in the NFL last year. And then in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins has lost more playoff games than he's won.
I mean, most quarterbacks have lost more playoff games than they won.
Right, unless your name is Tom Brady. But it's like
or Joe Flacco.
Right. But but what I'm saying is I don't know. I think Kirk Cousins you can't rely on him too much nowadays, right? But I don't know. I like some about Goff, man. I think he got something to prove still.
Now here's the thing.
I think Goff is something about him.
Here's the thing. While I did pick the Lions to be a team we least expected,
I think he's the best quarterback in the division. Let's start there. If we had to pick, Justin Fields maybe put up the numbers, but winner and as far as overall quarterback, Jared Goff.
Here's the thing.
Jared Goff.
When I look at the Vikings, I don't think about Kirk Cousins.
You don't think? Thank you. You think about the receiver. He's the man.
And that's a hell of a player. You talking about Randy Moss of this generation.
He is Randy Moss of the generation.
And they just added Jordan Addison. So I that offense is going to be, he ain't going to have to do much but throw the ball up.
I think it's going to be top tier of the division, Detroit, Minnesota, and the bottom tier of the division is going to be Green Bay and Chicago. Chicago's going to be fun because of Justin Fields, but
here's the thing, though.
Chicago's not winning 10, 12 games.
Chicago should be better.
They're going to be better, but Chicago's 500 team.
I got them winning 8 games.
Exactly. That's not enough to make the playoffs.
It might be. In this division, it might be.
Wild card is anybody. So,
but I mean,
to make the
Packers could go 8-8, the Lions could go 8-8, the Bears could go 8-8, the Vikings could go.
But if there's a team in another division and they got a lot of teams that got 10, 11, 12 wins, then nobody in that, because it's only 3 teams outside of the divisional winner out of all the divisions. So,
but I picked the Lions still.
Lions, yeah. So we'll agree on Lions. So NFC South. I think I'll give Carolina's the rebuilding team because they had the number 1 pick. I think New Orleans and Atlanta is second tier. And you got to give the edge to Tampa Bay because they still have players that have won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So they still got some of those players left. Not all of them, probably half of them, give or take.
Wait, so you picking who?
Tampa Bay. You were telling me this based on their players, right? They still got some Super Bowl players there. Then I'd give it to because I was talking about New Orleans, but you got David Carr. I don't know if you trust this guy. I've seen him play on the Raiders. He kind of dropped the ball. And the Falcons, I still don't know who the Falcons quarterback is.
Damian Ritter.
I don't know who that is. Respectfully. Last year was Marcus Mariota.
And Damian Ritter.
I got to tune in more Falcons games, like I said. But they got the running back. He's hot stuff. But, yeah, rookie running back, you know.
Shit, he might be the next Adrian Peterson type shit.
Yeah. But a toss-up, though, nonetheless. Toss-up, this division going. It's going to be close, but I'm going to go with experience. Like I said, Tampa Bay still has some Super Bowl players left on the roster.
So, in other words, you thinking Baker Mayfield finna go off?
Not necessarily. So David Ritter is going to go off or David Carr is going to go off? No, this is going to be the subpar. Like I said, all these teams are 500, like give or take. You know, like respectfully, all these teams are 500 at best. This is one of the worst. This is one of the worst divisions. From an eye test right now, it's one of the worst divisions. You know what I'm saying? Like
On paper.
On paper, yes, correct. Any given Sunday and all that, but like on paper, I think again, I don't think anyone's definitively going to win 10 games in this division. No, heck no. Who? So, that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm just a normal guy that talks sports. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
I could go with the Bucks.
There we go. Go in the book with experience. So, and then. Okay, and then.
The last division.
Of course, it's NFC West San Francisco 49ers. Like, are you serious, bro? We got top 3 defense to start there. You know what I'm saying? The defense is a big part of the reason why the team is good. Christian McCaffrey, top 3, top 5 running back. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Pro Bowlers on this team. You know what I mean? Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Trent Williams. So, yeah, come on now, hands down. And then the Cardinals, rebuilding team. They'll be one of the worst teams. They projected like 3-4 wins. The Rams, I don't know what you see in the Rams, 500 at best, even with all their former players. The Rams aren't beating the 49ers this season.
Okay, I will.
At all.
I will give you this theory.
They're not going to get a better record than them. They're not going to beat them in the regular season. They're going to beat them in the playoffs.
Check this out, Ed.
And the Seahawks to be cute, but the Seahawks.
Check this out. Outside of Christian McCaffrey.
Elijah Mitchell, RB2.
Who was on the 49ers when they won the Super Bowl? I mean,
When they went with Jimmy G?
no.
When they lost to the Chiefs?
Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Outside of Christian McCaffrey, who have the 49ers picked up, or who did the 49ers have on their team when the Rams did go to the Super Bowl the year before? That was also different.
Good question. Like I said, a lot of these players are still there from, like I said, the Super Bowl. A lot of the returning players, like all these players I mentioned, Christian McCaffrey, the Rams and the 49ers went on a bidding war for Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers ultimately offered more because the Rams didn't have as much assets because they used those assets to build the Super Bowl team that they had a couple seasons ago.
What I'm saying is,
So what's your point?
my point is, outside of Christian McCaffrey, that is the only improvement. Granted, it's a big improvement, but that is the only real marked improvement that I have seen the 49ers
What the
make.
49ers are banking on now is that Brock Purdy is going to be better than Jimmy G ever was. At least I think that's what they think. Because if Brock Purdy isn't as good as Jimmy G, then why would we let Jimmy G go? Why did we draft Trey Lance and then in the first place? Because we thought he was going to be better, but then he wasn't.
I mean, Jimmy
He
G
got
got
hurt.
y'all to a Super Bowl, bro.
He got his Super Bowl, but he did also lose it when we're up 17-7 in the fourth quarter. And he got a lot.
I mean,
of
did he
that
lose
blame.
it or did Patrick
Everyone
Mahomes
lost
win it?
There you go. You did tell me that. Pat Mahomes won.
Yeah. I
But
told you
on
that
our
boy,
end,
that
so
boy
what do
too
we do?
good, bro.
So we get to the game. What we do?
That boy too good.
So we got to get somebody.
You better hope the Bengals get to the Super Bowl when y'all in there, and not Patrick Mahomes because he ain't finna lose. But he did lose to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, so hey. Whew.
Whatever movie you watch, whatever flight you catch, is got to land. It's got to end. This movie got to end at some point.
The movie has to end at some point.
This Pat Mahomes movie got to end at some point.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you about 10 minutes into the movie. You about 10 minutes into. You about 10 minutes into Star Wars right now, bro.
So that is our divisional predictions. We will update accordingly as the season goes on. But yeah, that's who we picking so far. Are we doing Super Bowl picks? We doing that? I mean,
We can.
We can. Man. I mean, I got the 49ers.
I got.
The 49ers.
I got
the 49ers to win the Super Bowl.
Man, we can't be biased in these picks.
I got the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. What am I saying? The Eagles? What am I saying? What am I about to say? The Cowboys? What am I about to say? Vegas got the 49ers the second team best in the NFC. I'm pretty confident. Like I said, I'm pretty confident in my team. Like, it's biased, but it's like realistic at the same time.
Ain't Nick Bosa about to hold out?
They're indifferent a little bit. They are indifferent. About trust me, they're about $4 million a year indifferent. And about
That's a lot of
10
money.
Yeah, right. And about $20 million overall. Indifferent. So get the job done. You done let go. You done let go Trey Lance. You done let go Robbie Gould. You done let go McClatchy. He was our left guard. He's on the Broncos. Fun fact, side note. So we done lost some players. That's my point. We done saved some money. So you might as well give it to freaking Nick Bosa, one of the best defensive players in the league, not just on the 49ers.
Man, I don't know, man.
Defensive player of the year.
I
Type
think
of player we're talking about here. Nick Bosa. Sign Nick Bosa. Yeah, that is our variable. But Nick Bosa is not going to hold out a whole season. Let's get serious. That's not happening. That is not happening. What player holds out the whole season?
Le'Veon Bell.
And look where he's at now.
Watson.
Respectfully. Was he ever the same after that holdout? No. You don't hold out. You don't hold out. You get your money, but you don't hold out. You don't miss games.
I can think of a couple other
You don't
players.
miss games. You
Carson
don't miss-
Palmer held out.
Come on. Again, but
He was still a good player. Deshaun Watson held out too. The first year he wasn't. He didn't play.
Nick Bosa, I wouldn't, obviously being biased for a 49er fan, but don't do it. Don't do it. Sign the deal. Don't hold out the season. Don't miss any games. We'll still be all right without him, but come on. Sign the deal. We love you. Come on, sign the deal. He ain't going nowhere else. He ain't going nowhere else. We drafted him. So.
He might go play with his brother. Get the brothers on the line together. Ooh, wait.
Stop that.
Ooh,
Stop
wait.
that movie for it. Stop that movie for it. And then, so let's ask Vegas. Since we talking about, okay, Vegas odds Super Bowl. Let's ask Vegas. Okay. This is what we got here. Okay. So this is to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City plus 600. Philadelphia plus 800. Buffalo plus 900. 49ers plus 1,000. Buffalo plus 1,000. Cowboys plus 1,300. Jets plus 1,800. Baltimore plus 1,800. Detroit plus 2,100. Chargers plus 2,100. Miami plus 2,100. Jacksonville plus 2,800. Timeout. So that means if you bet 100, you would win 2,800 back. So Seattle plus 35. Cleveland plus 3,000. So that's it. So
I'm picking the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl.
you telling me not to be biased?
If you want to be
you
biased,
telling me not to be biased?
I'm picking the Ravens if we being biased.
So if we ask Vegas, it would be a repeat of last Super Bowl. So we're gonna sit here and say that?
No.
It's gonna be Kansas City and Philadelphia in the Super Bowl? I'm not saying that.
It's going to be the Ravens
Okay, Ravens and 49ers. You heard it here first. All right.
with a Ravens victory.
We got the Ravens beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yes, and we have the Ravens beating the
Right.
49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So
2-0 against them in the Super Bowl.
Yo, check you out. Okay. So that is our prediction. So, but no, we're excited for this. I saw a little. I guess we'll close on this. I saw a little meme or whatever. They said like, would you accept $15,000 to miss the whole NFL season? I'm like, I really thought about like, damn, could I do that? Damn, like, would you do that though? 15,000, like, it's not the most money in the world, but
It's
like,
not
damn,
the most, but it's like,
damn, what
it's
am I
still
doing?
15 bands, though.
Seriously, but to miss football, bro.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like,
and then I
damn.
fucking see, oh man, the game. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Damn.
Every time I see Matt, you talk about some football, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Damn.
I seen that shit. It tripped me out. Exactly. I was like, would I do it? Like, I would consider not doing it. Right? I would consider not doing it.
It's like, I would consider it, but I'd be
I
like, damn.
consider like, damn, do I really want to miss football though? Fuck. Excuse me. But
15 bands or miss.
shout out to the 7 people still watching.
Oh, yeah, it's been people.
Oh, we got some comments. I'm tripping. We over here talking.
No, we good on comments.
Oh, we go on comments. Okay, bad. Okay, so yeah, we close out that note. Yeah, but shout out to the NFL, and the season starts September 7th.
Absolutely.
September 7th. So we will be recapping the first game for sure. September 7th, next Thursday.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So next week, looking to come to Friday because it's Friday now. We should have the first game recapped. We'll be talking about that. So shout out to next week, whatever that first game is.
It's on Thursday?
Yeah, heck yeah, September 7th. September 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Chrome. His birthday's September 11th, and he having a little cowboy watch party for his birthday. Remember? So shout out to Chrome.
Oh, yeah, shout out to my guy Nesto, too.
Yeah, shout out to Nesto. Oh yeah, it was Nesto's. When was this?
Well, Nesto's having a gender reveal.
Gender. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
On Saturday.
Yeah, oh, man. He is having that. Yeah, shout out to Nesto.
I got to pull up on my guy. I'm going to bring
Nesto
some
Jr.
Pampers or something.
Yeah, shout out to Nesto, bro. Yeah. Oh, some of them originals right there. Our guys for sure. But let's see. And then next, not too much on basketball news. I'm gonna close on fantasy football. JaVale McGee signed to the Sacramento Kings. So that was today. That's
OG.
depth at the center position. 3-time champion, and he is. I'm excited for it. The experience and leadership that he brings to the locker room. And he used to be under Mike Brown, and the Kings are looking to contend this NBA season. More on the Kings and the NBA in the future, but that happened today. Today's September 1st, and Sacramento Kings signed JaVale McGee.
Good defensive piece.
Defensive piece. I mean, comes in maybe 10, 15 minutes, nothing too crazy.
Get you about 3 points.
I believe he was bought out by the Dallas Mavericks. But the Dallas Mavericks, they made some moves and moving on from JaVale McGee. And their losses are gain. And welcome to Sacramento, JaVale McGee.
OG.
So next topic, fantasy football.
Shout out to Dabo too. He's in the group chat.
So shout out to Dabo. The league, me and Matt and Dabo and them is called the All Out Blitz. We're going to have our draft in the middle of the week. It looks like we're going to go 10-man league,
Which is cool.
which is cool, which works.
Everybody gonna be rich.
Right, exactly. Everyone's gonna have good teams. So more on that. So it's still put together. We should have a recap of that. We're still putting all that together. They didn't know if they was gonna have everybody. Some people didn't come back, et cetera, et cetera. Ghost won it last year. Shout out to Ghost.
Ghost sure enough did win it last
Ghost
year. Won
it last year. Another OG around here. But
my man caught that payout and everything.
right. So shout out to Ghost. So like I said, more on that. But in my other league, shout out to Shane Flacco fan club. I've been working with these guys at least 10 years now. A lot of these guys are in LA. You got David, Hans, Matt, all the fellas. You met, James. You met my homie James one time. Remember, we was at where was we at? Well, he's my homie from out of town one time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, James.
For sure.
Yeah, James. He's from Cincinnati. So shout out to James. Shout out to everybody in my league. But I had the 12th pick out of 14. And not to saying I'm the best fantasy football player ever, but I like to believe my knowledge is pretty solid. And I was well prepared for the draft. I did a lot of mock drafts. So I had 12 out of 14. I had a pretty good idea how it was going to go. I had a few targets for my first round. I was going to go running back this year. So out of the 3 running backs available, when I picked 12th,
no particular order, was Josh Jacobs, Henry, and Pollard. And I picked Josh Jacobs because he led the league in rushing last year, and he just got his deal, the 1-year deal. I think he's going to have a great year. Travis Henry, I don't know Henry. I don't know. Henry's older. I like Henry. I almost picked Henry, but he's older than Pollard. Pollard's coming off the injury against the 49ers. I don't know if Pollard's 100%. I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't kept up on Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard did great last year, proved me wrong last year. Should have drafted him last year. Should have listened to Matt last year, and I didn't. I picked Ezekiel Elliott instead.
You picking him again this year?
I didn't. And then I thought about it, but I didn't. But
Might have to catch him on the waiver wire.
His projected was he did get drafted though. He's fantasy pros about 45 give or take. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott.
In running back?
In running back.
Okay.
He's about 45, and Pollard is like top 5, right? So, but I got Josh Jacobs, and my second round, I went. So that was in the snake order, and I had like the 17th pick. So in the second round, I got Pat Mahomes. I seen you got Pat Mahomes last year. Had to get some Pat Mahomes. Third round, I got Deebo Samuel, who's right there. That's who I wanted. That was my target.
How many people in this league?
14. Some people just didn't know what they were doing. That's why my team is as good as it is, I feel, respectfully. And then I got Deebo the 4th round. I got
the only thing that's going to kick you in the ass is you got a lot of players that's on the same team.
Then I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But who I got? I got Hawkinson in the 4th round. Somebody picked up Kittle.
Hawkinson should be good.
But Hawkinson's better than Kittle. But somebody picked Kittle before Hawkinson. I was going to get Kittle, so that was that. 5th round, I got Ayuk, so I got both 49 receivers. 3rd round, the 5th round. And the 6th round was the Pat Pacheco from Kansas City. Running back. Yeah, so I didn't Pacheco. So I got best running back available, and just after that, I was getting best running back available. I don't know if any of my guys in my league are watching this, but my strategy was I wasn't gonna say this until after the draft.
Pacheco probably gonna be all right.
Right. So I like my team. So by the time I got the 6th round, he was still there. So he dropped to me. He dropped. So I like. So what else I got? A lot of former 49er running backs. McKinnon off the Chiefs, Mozart off the Dolphins, Elijah Mitchell, RB2, just in case Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. Mitchell going to be teared up. Singletary, former Bills player, now he's on the Texans. And my strategy was, for the most part, I wasn't going to be the first to draft a defense or a kicker, but I was going to once it got picked. I have a top 5 defense, Cowboys.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll pick Justin Tucker early, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, as you should. No, because he's the top. He's the top. But I got the Bills kicker. He was like top 5. But, yeah, Tucker's the top kicker. I wasn't going to be the first to get a defense or kicker, but I was going to do it like soon afterwards. I've seen you shouldn't draft defense in the first top of your draft. That's true, I wasn't going to draft a backup tight end and a backup quarterback. If I'm drafting Pat Mahomes, why – you know who was my backup quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo because that's my man's. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, like I'm drafting Pat Mahomes. I could get a backup quarterback, God forbid, in free agency. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. I think I'd rather have a depth at flex. So that was like I was real big. I was bigger on running back this year than I have been previous years. I usually get receiver first round. I was about the running back this year, and then running backs fell to me. That top tier running backs, I feel. It typically don't fall to me. Like a lot of the top 3 picks was receivers. Yeah, I was like, wow, that threw everybody off.
Don't throw me off.
Yeah, yeah. So shout out to my league. Shout out to
Receivers getting more burned than the running backs. You know what I'm saying?
So shout out to fantasy football. Exciting time. I've learned a lot more. A lot more about football playing fantasy football. I wasn't always like fantasy football is a whole nother deal. Like I couldn't,
yeah, it is.
I didn't know fantasy football in high school and like when I was in the military. I did not know how to play fantasy football.
I've been playing fantasy football since 2010.
2010, about the same. At least 10 years, about the same. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
that's
when All Out Blitz had a draft, we'll give y'all an update.
Yeah, update on that. Yeah, update on that. We did the draft. That was fun. That was fun. The draft episode last year. We'll see. We don't know when the draft is, but
Yeah.
that is that. So damn, we had 2 hours. Yeah, check us out. So we gonna wrap this.
We gonna wrap it up?
We're gonna wrap this up.
It's 11, almost 11:30.
It's 11:30. Jeez Louise. Okay, it's past my bedtime. So, thank you for everybody tuning in. This has been another episode of Normal Guys Talk Sports. It is September 1st, Friday, 11:20 approximately. So we're coming to Friday nights. For now, that's how the cookie crumbled. So we're coming to Friday nights. TGIF. We are revamping the show.
TGIF.
Like I said, football is about to be back in season. Basketball shortly after. So the summer drought is almost over, ladies and gentlemen. Football is almost back. We are excited. Like I said, thank you for the continued support. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Tiffany. She's walking back through. And then and we are wrapping up. Any last words before we close it all out?
Drive home safely after your drunken nights at the club.
Yeah, of course. Friday night, all that fun stuff. So shout out to Tiffany getting some behind the scenes. She
Shout out
always
to
gets some great footage. She is a master with the camera. She does a lot of great work. Shout out to Tiffany and all that she does and all that her continued support at the studio. Shout out to everyone else at the studio. Some people walking by right now, I don't know. But shout out to everyone doing music. Shout out to
Nene.
Shout out to Nene. Shout out to Dialogue. We just come on, man. Shout out to the homie. Come on, man. Get in here.
Dialogue.
Shout out to Dialogue. Hey, man. Super duper master producer. Hey, man, we did shrooms the other night.
Yeah,
that's my guy. That's my
Y'all-
guy.
y'all did shrooms the other night?
No, I'm not doing it tonight.
Oh, y'all did shrooms tonight?
No, the other night. This is the number
Super
one
producer.
super producer, the number one producer here at Never Satisfied Studios. You know, star wide receiver.
Dialogue, you
On the
crazy.
roster. So a lot of great things he does.
Y'all better know that these guys carried me to that position.
I used to.
Here, I don't
Nah,
know
shout out to
what the fuck
Dialogue,
happened.
man.
They taught me the way of being
Shout out to
that
Dialogue. Dialogue helped save the studio. If it wasn't,
to these motherfuckers.
shout out to Dialogue. Dialogue, there would be not. No, shout out to Dialogue. I love Dialogue. I love
Oh,
Dialogue
me
for
too.
sure. We've gone through a lot of
Man.
stuff. Yeah, ayahuasca sessions, shroom
Oh my
sessions.
God.
I love Dialogue for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dialogue is
What-
yeah, Dialogue is
What
the
I
bro.
did?
Did you go to wait?
I did. I went.
Yeah,
one of
you.
those
The
times.
first time you had ayahuasca was the
The
first time
first
he had
time.
ayahuasca.
I didn't go to the
No.
second.
The first time.
I
no,
went to the
do-
first
I
one.
remember that. The first time you had ayahuasca was the first time he had ayahuasca. I remember
First time
that.
didn't even count, bro.
The first time
You
didn't
gotta
count?
go to- That's what I'm saying. Second time. It's okay. You gonna come. Your second time.
We've talked about ayahuasca on the show before. Yeah, we have.
And the other night,
Man,
There's
check
no-
you out.
we went deep.
We do.
That super moon was nothing to play with. Super blue moon.
Super blue moon. So I don't know. We're spiritual over here. We're all about the full moons and the spiritual medicines, all that. Don't mean to get too off topic, but that's how we get down. That's how we get down when we're satisfied. Check you out. Shout out Dialogue. Love you, bro. Shout out Dialogue. No, thank you, bro. All right. So yeah, shout out to Dialogue. Yeah, super producer. So shout out to the music. Shout out everyone here doing music, doing camera work. Too many names. All the podcasts. Everyone part of the crew. Everyone part of the team. Never Satisfied. Shout out to CEO. You never know who pop up. We had a few cameos, unplanned cameos in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 48. Like I said, closing out. Everyone have a great week. Enjoy your sports. Enjoy each other, like Jerry Springer said. It's September 1st. Like I said, enjoy y'all weekend. And then Deion Sanders in town. We'll close on that. Deion Sanders
Oh
in
yeah,
town
you
tomorrow.
got. I might have to catch that game somewhere. Dang.
Right. So Colorado TCU is projected to be one of the highest rated college
Right out
games
there in
ever.
Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth, Funky Town, right
Funky
outside
Town
of Dallas,
popping tomorrow.
30 miles away from Dallas. Shout out Funky Town. So yeah, we're closing out. Hey, appreciate you guys. We're living the dream. Pursue your passion, pursue your dreams. That's what we do here at the studio. That's what we do here at the podcast. Show gratitude to the people around you for
Show
the things
love.
you're able